Hi there, it's your very own physics man, Fawaz Shafi Mahmood. Take out your NCERT textbooks and let's continue with the read along of chapter number 1, Electric Charges and Fields.
Okay, so till now we have learned about charging by contact. But can you charge something without contact? Let's learn that in this video. Charging by induction. When we touch a pith ball with an electrified plastic rod, some of the negative charges on the rod are transferred to the pith ball and it also gets charged. Thus the pith ball is charged by contact. We have already learned this. It is then repelled by the plastic rod but is attracted by the glass rod which is oppositely charged. It is repelled by plastic rod because both are having the same negative charge, and it is attracted towards glass rod because glass rod is positively charged. However, why an electrified rod attracts light objects is a question we have still left unanswered. Actually, I have already answered that in the first video. Go check it out. Anyway, we will explain that again here. Let us try to understand what could be happening by performing the following experiment. Bring two metal spheres A and B supported on insulating stands in contact as shown in 1.5 figure 1.4. So you have two spheres here, A and B. They are kept on insulating stands. Why? So that charge does not get discharged to the ground. To prevent that, bring a positively charged rod near one of the spheres, say A, taking care that it does not touch the sphere. Why are we taking care that it does not touch the sphere? If it touches, there will be charging by contact. So this positive charge will flow into the sphere A. The free electrons in the spheres are attracted towards the rod. This leaves an excess of positive charge on the rear surface of sphere B. Both kinds of charges are bound in the metal spheres and cannot escape. They therefore reside on the surfaces as shown in the figure. So here what happens is, since there is a positive charge on this rod, all the electrons from both the spheres get attracted towards the rod. That means electrons accumulate here, and since there is a lack of electron here, there will be positive charge residing on this surface. The left surface of sphere A has an excess of negative charge and the right surface of sphere B has an excess of positive charge, as we have seen. However, not all of the electrons in the sphere have accumulated on the left surface of A, as the negative charge starts building up at the left surface of A. Other electrons are repelled by these. In a short time, equilibrium is reached under the action of force of attraction of the rod and the force of repulsion due to the accumulated charges. Now what happens is, the rod attracts electrons. So electrons are coming near to the rod, but as electrons are accumulating here, what will happen is, new electron, let's say this electron wants to come here, but what will happen, the positive charge will be attracting it, but these negative charges will be repelling it. So there will be a tug of war, and finally if the forces are balanced, the new electrons will not be able to come here. So only that many electrons will come until equilibrium is reached. Figure 1.4b shows the equilibrium situation. This process is called induction of charge. So you see the separation of charges here. This is called induction of charge, and happens almost instantly. This happens almost instantly. The accumulated charges remains on the surface as shown till the glass rod is held near the surface. If the rod is removed, the charges are not acted by any outside force and they redistribute to their original neutral state. So if this rod is removed, then what will happen? The charges will redistribute. Here if the rod is removed, then what will happen? The charges will redistribute and finally you will get this back. That's what they are saying here. Separate the spheres by a small distance while the glass rod is still held near the sphere A, as shown in the figure 1.4c. the two spheres are found to be oppositely charged and attract each other. So here, what is the difference between these two figures? Here it's still in contact. Now you are moving it by a small distance. So what will happen? Now negative charge will be accumulating on this sphere, and the positive charge will be accumulating on this sphere. Now even if I remove this rod, it won't neutralize because there is a gap here. So all the negative charge will accumulate here and the positive charge will accumulate here. Remove the rod. Now yes, the rod has been removed here in this figure. Remove the rod, the charges on the spheres rearrange themselves as shown in the figure 1.44d. Now separate the spheres quite apart. The charges on them get uniformly distributed over them as shown in the figure 1.4e. So in 1.4d, you see, in 1.4c, the electrons or negative charge was accumulated on the left side and the positive charge was accumulated on the right side. Now when this positive charged rod is taken away, as in this figure, then what will happen? The positive will attract the negative and the negative will attract the positive. So these will come to positive charges will accumulate on the left side and the negative charge will accumulate on the right side. If there was a contact, then they would even neutralize each other. But now if you are moving these far apart, in this figure they have not shown much distance, but if you are moving it further away, then what will happen? It will be uniformly distributed because the effect will be less. That is, these positive charges wouldn't be attracting the negative charge much. So what will happen? They will be uniformly distributed here. Again, the positive charge will also be uniformly distributed on this surface. And since it is standing on the insulating stand, it won't be able to go to the ground. So in this process, we have seen that the metal spheres will each be equal and oppositely charged. This is charging by induction. So here we have created two kinds of charge, negative charge on sphere A and positive charge on sphere B. Okay. The positively charged glass rod does not lose any of its charge, contrary to the process of charging by contact. Now charging by contact, we know that if a glass rod or a plastic rod is coming into contact with a pith ball, then some of the charge of the glass rod or the plastic rod is going to the pith ball. So charge is reduced in the rod. But here there is no charge flowing from this. So even if after this process, if you check, the charge will be same as before on the rod. When electrified rods are brought near the light objects, a similar effect takes place. The rods induce positive opposite charge on the near surface of the objects and similar charge move to the further side of the object. This is a very important point. This happens even when the light object is not a conductor. If it's not a conductor, there will be no free electrons. Then how will this happen? You will learn more about this when you learn about dipoles. I'll just give you a hint that if this is the plastic rod or glass rod which is positively charged and you want to attract this maybe a piece of paper, then what will happen? The molecules in that, the positive charge and the negative charge will be displaced by a small distance. So then we can call this as dipoles. Okay, we'll learn more about this in the coming classes. So here you can see this positive and negative, you can say they cancel each other. So you can say this is neutral region. But you see negative charge is accumulating on the left side and positive charge is accumulating on the right side. But you will say if negative is attracted to the positive, but this positive charge will repel it also. But you see negative charge is closer to this positive charge on the rod. So attraction will be more than repulsion. The mechanism of how this happens is explained later in sections 1.10 and 2.10. The centers of the two types of charges are slightly separated. We know that opposite charges attract while similar charges repel. However, the magnitude of force depends on the distance between the charges, and in this case the force of attraction overweighs the force of repulsion. As a result, the particles like bits of paper or pith balls being light are pulled towards the rod, just as I said. So they will be attracted because attraction will overweigh the repulsion. So we'll continue from here in next class. So until we meet again, Happy physicsing!